The silence in my apartment wasn't just an absence of sound. It was heavy, dense, like something alive wrapping around my chest. 3 months. That's how long the rent had gone unpaid. Options. Gone. Pride. Long eroded. Then came the knock. Mr. Thorne. My landlord. There was something about his gaze too long to knowing that always made my skin crawl. I opened the door slowly, tightening my worn robe around me like armor. Aurora, he said, voice smooth like polished glass, but cold. You're 3 months behind. I just need more time, I said. Barely above a whisper, he stepped inside uninvited. The air in the apartment seemed to constrict with his presence. It's a regrettable thing, he murmured, eyes never leaving mine, to see a woman like you. Struggling? I stiffened. He wasn't just talking about rent anymore. I've tried everything, I said, voice cracking. I'm doing all I can. He studied me slowly, methodically. There may be another way, he said. My stomach turned. What are you suggesting? You're a smart woman, Aurora, he said. I think you already know. His words hung in the air, venom wrapped in velvet. No one else needs to know, he added softly. This could stay between us. My heartbeat thudded loud in my ears. Every fiber in me screamed to run, but desperation. The cunning negotiator. I had nothing left to sell. No shifts left to pick up. No one left to borrow from. Only this offer. This terrible, terrible offer. I didn't speak. I just nodded. That's all it took. His smile deepened not with kindness, but with victory. The room seemed colder despite the heat burning in my face. What followed wasn't passion. It was transaction, control, power, loss. I gave a single desolate nod. His smile deepened. A predatory gleam of triumph in his eyes. He reached out not for any Imogen payment, but for the sash of my robe, a wise decision my dear Mr. Thornold me towards. The bedroom, his grip on my arm firm yet unhurried, the air within felt thick, charged with an unspoken illicit energy. His cologne, a rich masculine scent, mingled with something deeper, something primal assailing my senses. He did not waste time standing near the edge of the bed. He deliberately aligned at his belt, the soft clink of the metal buckle echoing loudly in the suffocating silence. I trust you understand. What is expected of you, Aurora? A lump of ice formed in my throat. He hesitated, my fingers tightening in fists at my sides, his lips curved inner something that was not quite a smell others. No need for such surprise. Auroran agreement is an agreement. A strange generous heat began to uncoil deep with Onum. I swallowed hard then, as if in a trance. I lowered myself to my knees. His fingers threaded through my hair as he leaned towards him, his warmth, his sensitively overwhelming with a hesitanalmost clinical precision. I pressed my lips against him. He exhaled sharply, his fingers tightening slightly in my hair, a subtle guiding pressure. The low sound began to make sense, an unexpected forbid thrill coursing through me. It knew I shouldn't feel it, this treacherous response, but I did. His breathing deepened, his posture tensed. He was losing himself in the moment. In me a strange fleeting sense of control flickered within my own confusion. Justice, I found a disking rhythm. He pulled away abruptly. His breathing ragged, his composure visibly strained. He was barely holding back. Get on top. He rasped, his voice thick with the raw, urgent need. I abide, rising and moving onto the bed, my robe falling open completely as Istradelt his form. His hands immediately found my thighs, sliding up my skin, squeezing as if to memorize every contour. That's it, he murmured, high size, dark and intense, locked on mine. He reached down, aligning myself with him. A sharp, involuntary gasp escaped my lips. I sank onto him. He groaned, his fingers pressing into my hips. You feel better than I ever imagined. I tried. Toinier, the betraying warmth that spread through me at his words. This was a business deal. Nothing more, but as a begging to move, a deep, undeniable pulse off leisure rippled through my unwilling body. My flesh was a traitor responding with an eagerness. A craving that horrified me. I bit my lip, struggling toke, my face a mask of neutrality, butte inside. A slow, insistent heat coiled and spread with every motion. Go on, Aurora, urged his voice strained ride me. Asif, you mean it? His grip was firm guiding. I did as he commanded, my pace quickening, my own breathing becoming shallow and uneven, each motion centanathor wave of illicit sensation. Rough, me making it harder and harder to pretend I wasn't experiencing this, smirked up at me as if he could. See straight through my act, you're enjoying this, aren't you? He murmured. No. Elid, my breath hitching betrayingly as I moved faster. His grip tightened, his body rising to meet mine. In a perfect driving rhythm, the tension between us building, growing. Deeper, heavier, I clenched my jaw to sport to hold back any sound that might betray the truth of my body's response. Keep going, he growled, his own control slipping his eyes, never leaving mine, drinking in every movement, every unspoken reaction I dug. My now Sinto, his chest holding on as a powerful pleasure built inside me, threatening Tazbal over his breath. Hitched his body tensing beneath me, and then with a final shuddering exhalation, his hands locked in place as he reached his peak. I followed. Seconds later, my body trembling from the unexpected intensity, but it swallowed my moans, keeping my expression unreal, as I collapsed onto him, my body still humming with the aftershock fur. A moment we just lay there, our breathing, heavy skin, damp and warm. Then slowly I moved off him, sitting at the edge of the bed. I didn't speak, there was nothing to say, but deep down, I knew thy truth I had, against all reason, enjoyed a very second of it, and so clearly had Hay sat at the edge of the bed, pulling my robe around me, though it did little to cover what had already been exposed. Miskin still tingled my breath. Still and steady, I felt his eyes on me, watching, waiting. You surprised me, Aurora. His voice was smooth again, amused. I didn't expect you to enjoy yourself. Quite that, Mac. A flicker of heat in my stomach ignored it. It was just a deal, I murmured, chuckled. Certainly, if that's what you need to believe. Silence. Stretched between us. I should have felt consumed by shame, but I didn't. Not entirely a part of me had undeniably liked it more than I wanted to admit. I have an position for you, he said, then glanced at him. What do you mean, Helen? Against the headboard, his shirt still open, his expression unreadable. You enjoyed this. I know you did. And there are men, discerning men, who would pay good money for a woman like you, Estefan. You're joking. Not in the slightest. He watched me closely. You saw your options were exhausted, but they didn't have to be. You could turn this aptitude into something lucrative. My breath hitched. That's different. This was just. I stopped, lacking the words. Just what? His smirk deepened. Just a favor, just for fun. I turned away, my mindressing. I should have been disgusted. Booty wasn't, because he was right. I had enjoyed it. And now the thought of doing it again, of being wanted, of being in control, of making something out of nothing didn't seem so impossible. It's our choice, of course. He said, standing up, buttoning his shirt. You don't have veto say yes, but if you do, I know two gentlemen who would pay very well for a night with you. A chill ran through Manat. Just one, too. I swallowed hard. Its hold have been an easy no, but it wasn't. How much? A smirk widened. More than you've Medine a single night in your entire life. Eeks hold slowly, my pulse hammering in Myers. One night, too. Men, a choice that could change everything. I lifted my china, nodded once. All right, Mr. Thornridge, in for his phone. Good girl. I'll make the calf next evening. I stood in front of the mirror, smoothing a new dress over my heaps. It was tight, low cut, revealing Justin, and Mr. Thorngren had picked it out himself, along with a pair of heels that made my legs look longer than cut. Along with it, I barely recognized the woman staring back. My hands trembled slightly. I adjusted my hair. Why was I nervoozy? Had already made my choice there. Was no turning back now. You look perfect. Mr. Thorngren murmured from the doorway. His eyes roamed over me, slow and approving. They'll love you. I swallowed hard, exhaling through my nose. Who are they, friends? He smirked. Generous ones, you give them a goodnight aurora and you'll never have to worry about rent again. A knock at the door, my breath caught, they were here. Myrrh, thorn, grin, smirk, deepened, shouting, sweethert. I turned toward the door, my heart pounding as I reached for the handle, and then I opened it to men stood their eyes. Dark expressions sonradal, and they were here for me. I led them into the room. My pulse-pounding each step waited with anticipation. My heels tapped softly against the floor there, charged with an unspoken energy. Followed closely, their presence surrounding me, two sets of eyes to men, whose attention was solely on me. I had agreed to this. A part of me strangely wanted this, but still something inside deemed twisted a flicker of hesitation, a spark of excitement. The taller, one broad-shouldered confidant was the first to reach for me. His touch landed at my was firm, deliberate, his fingertips, rightly as though committing very curve to memory. The other, Leonard sharper, eyed, quiet but intense, observant, lingered just behind his breath, warm against the back of Miss Holder's sending. An unexpected ripple down my spine. Let's take care of this first, murmured his fingers, brushing over the strap of my dress, teasing at fabric as he met my gaze. Slowly layers slipped away, fabric falling with these hands followed, exploring, learning, appreciating. As cool air kissed my skin, he reached forward and turned my fingertips, tracing the firm lines beneath. Their close, my touch testing their response. Their eyes never left me, watching, waiting. A slow exhale left my lips. There was no hesitation. I wanted to give them exactly what they were waiting for. I moved with careful intention, fingers working through the closures off their belts, undoing each one at a measured pace, feeling the coiled tension beneath the layers between us. Their breathing deepened, muscles shifting as I explored, warmth radiating against my touch. A quiet sound escaped the first men, a deep note of appreciation as he tilted my chin upward, meeting my gaze with something unreadable in his expression. Just like that, he murmured, his voice smooth-edged with something darker. A familiar heat curled through mesomeething, both exhilarating and dangerous in the way they watched Mani's bent movements. Deliberate, allowed myself, fingers still rapidare in them, both warmth, pressing against me. Skin one hovered near my lips, azulent invitation, waiting for my decision. I leaned in, welcoming him, tasting, the heat tracing his shape with deliberate care above me. He inhaled sharply, fingers weaving through my hair, guiding me with the lightest touch. This con man wasn't forgotten. My other hand worked him with just as much attention, teasing, drawing out each reaction. His breath hitched, his fingers brushing the curve of my jaw as he stewed me, absorbed in every moment their combined presence. The quiet sounds they made, the tension winding through the space between us. It sent a slow, deep warmth spreading through my stomach. That's it, one of them murmured, his voice thick, heavy with satisfaction, just like that. The words sent another rush through me. They let me move at my own pace, letting me explore, letting me lose myself in them. Then one of them shifted back slightly, clearing his throat, asked, though regaining focus, "Come here," he said, his voice low, steady. "We're just getting started." I settled onto the mattress, my breath uneven, my body thrumming with anticipation. The taller man positioned himself between my legs, his fingertips drawing slow, deliberate circles along my inner thighs, teasing, heightening the tension. Other moved beside me, his hand finding my chin, tilting my face toward him, his gaze locking onto mine with quiet intensity. "Let's see just how sweet you are," the first murmured, his voice deep, laced with amusement. Then he lowered himself, his breath warm against me skin before the first flicker off sensation sent a shudder through me. A sharp gasp caught in my throat as his lips explored me, his touch slow, patient, deliberate. My fingers curled against these sheets, gripping them as each movement's another ripple of sensation through. The second man leaned in, his mouth brushing against mine before deepening kiss, his lips parting against mine. It welcomed him, letting the warmth of him consume me, muffling the sounds escaping me throat as pleasure built between oozed. He moved in perfect rhythm, unraveling me with his mouth, the other drawing me deeper into the kiss, his fingers threading through my hair keeping. "Me close, she's incredible one," Otham murmured, his voice laced with admiration. I should have felt nervous, I should have hesitated, but I didn't. Wanted more, and they could see it. They moved me, effortlessly guiding me into position as if they already knew what I needed now. I was on all fours, my body still trembling, still buzzing from their touch. The second man, the one who had been watching, waiting patient until now, moved behind me, his hand steady on my waist, grounding me. "You ready for more?" he asked, his voice lowering. I barely had time to respond. Bear. He pressed forward, a slow, measured pressure that sent a deep, unrelenting warmth spiraling through me. Breath hitched, my fingers tightening against the sheets as my body adjusted to him. He groaned softly, his grip securing me in place, his movement steady, deliberate, as if savoring every moment. First man moved in front of me, his fingers skimming my jaw, coaxing my gaze upward. "Let me feel you," he murmured. I parted my lips, welcoming him, the heat of him against me, the steady rhythm of his breath mixing with mine, just like they whispered, his thumb brushing along my cheek, his fingers tangling into my hair. They moved together, each guiding me, thigh rhythms sinking, one keeping my body steady, the other keeping my focus locked on him. A quiet moan escaped my throat, the vibrations making the man in front of me inhale sharply, his fingers flexing against my skin behind me. This canned man shifted, his pace becoming fluid, drawing another gasp from me, a warmth pulled deep within my core. "You'll love this, don't you?" One of them murmured, his voice teasing, knowing it, whimpered softly, my body betraying meth truth, evident in every movement, every sound. I loved every second of it. They weren't finished, they moved him again, lifting me, shifting me seamlessly into a new position, guiding exactly where they wanted me. Now I was atop the first man, his hands firm in my hips, grounding me, his gaze met me, a flicker of satisfaction playing across his lips. "Let me see how much you went this," he murmured, his grip tightening just enough to steady me. A slow breath escaped my lips as I sank onto him, a deep warmth building in Sadim. The stretch sending another shudder down my spine. His head fell back against pillows, a quiet groan slipping from his lips as I moved against him, but behind me. The second man wasn't done. I felt his touch first, teasing, testing his fingers, exploring the curve of my back, waiting for my reaction. A sharp breath left me, anticipation curling through my stomach. Flicker of hesitation met with an even deeper sense of want. He leaned forward, his breath hot against my ear. "Take your time," he murmured. "I'll guide you through it." I exhaled, my body tensing, adjusting. A slow, gradual acceptance. Ash pressed forward, the heat between using tensified the moment, stretching, body is sinking in perfect rhythm. "That's it, on F them," groaned, just like that. I wasn't sure who spoke. I was too lost in it, too overwhelmed by the way they moved with them. Their touch, their breath, their bodies keeping pace with mine. They worked in tandem, one steadying my hips, the other pressing closer. Their movements, press a second controlled. The pressure built, slowly spreading through me in waves. My breath coming faster as the sensation coiled tighter and tighter. "You're incredibly nuv," murmured his voice, reverent, filled with something raw. "Look at her," the other whispered, his fingers skimming me spine, making me shudder, completely lost in it. I couldn't hold back anymore. The tension inside me coiled to its peak, a final deep pull that unraveled me completely, warmth cransing through my body in waves, then a sharp inhale from beneath me, his fingers pressing into my skin, his body tensing, his rhythm faltered, a low groan behind me, his grip steadying me as he let go. Following right after, the moment stretched, breathless and infinite before fading into warmth. The room settled in silence. The only sound, the slowing Rizian fall of our breaths. In the quiet aftermath, a new understanding began. Todan, I had never expected to enjoy. It never expected to want more, but life in its brutal way had stripped away my pretenses, forcing an awakening. I hadn't sought but could no longer deny it wasn't about being wrong or right. But about confronting the complex, often contradictory truths within oneself when pushed to the absolute limit. This path was not chosen, but it was mine, and on Heidi began to glimpse a strength or resilience I never knew I possessed. Thanks for listening.